Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel, tap that notification bell, and like this video. That helps me to keep making videos, and I'd appreciate it. Majorly modus operandi, thanks for the heads up appreciate it. The helicopter crash into a building in Midtown Manhattan, a 54-story office building that's, in fairly close proximity to Trump Tower, and that... Well, the pilot was killed. Nobody else was injured or killed in the crash. He crashed on top of the 54-story building, not like into the side of it, as I understand it. It did quickly create a fire that the New York Fire Department was able to get, the very powerful special hoses all the way up to the top of the building to extinguish the fire, and put it out pretty quickly. This happened around 1:30 something, and from the time it took off at the 34th Street heliport, and within 11 minutes, it crash landed on top of this 54-story office building that again is in close proximity to Trump Tower, and there is a flight restriction. You need approval to fly in this area over Trump Tower because of the president, and because he's there frequently. It's not known whether this pilot received approval. You actually have to get approval from LaGuardia Tower to fly in this area. It's a restricted area, and we just don't know. It's so early whether or not he had that approval. Supposedly he was flying en route to circle the Statue of Liberty. I heard that in a live report, and I just finished watching the press conference with the mayor, the police commissioner, and the commissioner of the New York Fire Department. Supposedly he was going to circle the Statue of Liberty. That was his orbit. I also saw another report that he was returning back to his home where the helicopter is normally kept at. The owner of the helicopter is known. They didn't release that the identity of that person or the identity of the pilot, who the police commissioner said they're fairly certain they know who he is, but they didn't release his identity because of his family members. They don't believe there's any connection to terror, but there's still a lot of questions that remain, like why he was flying in that restricted airspace and whether or not he had approval to do that. So, I was a little conflicted there, but I did hear both. I heard that the helicopter was heading back to Jersey, where it's owned and where it's normally kept, and that it was en route to circle the Statue of Liberty, but had prematurely crashed after just 11 minutes in flight. And it sounds to me like the individual was trying to attempt an emergency crash landing on top of the building. That's what it sounds like, but I have no idea. But he was killed, and it did create a pretty large fire where you could see smoke billowing from a huge 54-story building. That's a pretty tall building. I don't know the name of that building, and I don't know that it has any particular significance, as if it was like a target. I just think this was a tragic accident, but we don't know a lot still. And that's pretty much the story there, man. But, when these things happen, and you see the visual images, as soon as I looked it up after modus operandi sort of gave me the heads up, I was like, wow, you see the smoke coming from a huge high-rise office building in New York City. And you hear of a helicopter crashing into or onto the New York high-rise. You think the worst. But it seems like it's just a tragic accident. Pilot was killed, and we'll find out more, I'm sure, soon, by the end of tonight, I believe. That's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.